Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar, Mr. C.K. Ranganathan, President AIMA, Mr. Harshpati Singhania, immediate past President AIMA, Mr. Nikhil Sawhney, Vice President AIMA, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to have you all with us in the inaugural session of the 49th National Management Convention. It is wonderful to have a physical convention after a hiatus of 2 years, and it is indeed great to have the energy and warmth of being together once again. It is a privilege for AIMA to have with us today the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar. Sir, it's an honor for AIMA to have you with us on a special day today, and many thanks for joining us and for agreeing to open the convention with your address to the management fraternity. We are doubly honored to have the Second Lady of India with us today, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. We will always cherish this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Management Convention is the flagship event of AIMA and is the biggest occasion for India's management leadership to come together and celebrate India. This NMC is taking place at a time of great change in the world, and we are taking this opportunity to highlight India's advantage in the emerging world order. The past couple of years have thrown open many crises, and India has been on a roller coaster. There have been multiple shocks to the Indian economy in this period: the great disruption during COVID, breakdown of relations with China, supply chain snags, and more recently the war in Ukraine and the inflation explosion. Even before COVID, the trade war between the US and China was reordering supply chains. The confluence of the economic and geopolitical factors is reordering the world, and while it is affecting India, it is also opening new possibilities for the country. During the NMC, we will examine the many facets of the challenges and opportunities for India in this mutating world. Across many sessions, we will try and find answers to some key questions, such as where are the key opportunities for India in the ongoing shake-up of the world? How should India realign its security and economic policies to protect its national interests? And how India can help rebuild the global political and economic institutions for a better world. Over the next 2 days, we will have a galaxy of India's top leaders from government, business, technology, armed forces, and from the startup world to discuss the various facets of the ongoing change and identify ways to drive India's advantage in the new world order. AIMA has a tradition of acknowledging excellence in management, and at this NMC too, we will felicitate a few outstanding management leaders with AIMA fellowships. We have an exciting program lined up for the next 2 days with some eminent speakers and panelists sharing their views and perspectives on a wide range of topics. It promises to be quite insightful, and I do hope you enjoy the sessions. Thank you all once again for joining us for AIMA's National Management Convention. And with these words, may I now invite Mr. C.K. Ranganathan, President AIMA, to deliver the welcome address.
Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar, Vice President of India, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar, Harshpati Singhania, immediate past President AIMA and Vice Chairman and Managing Director of JK Papers, Nikhil Sawhney, Vice President of AIMA and Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Triveni Turbine Limited, Rekha Sethi, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you and a very warm welcome to all of you for the 49th AIMA National Management Convention. It's great to have a normal National Management Convention after 2 COVID years and to see each other very closely. Being together in the same room and feeding off each other's vivacity is something we have missed, and it is energizing to be able to enjoy each other's company once again. Let's hope that lockdown and social distancing are in the past and life and business can once again be natural. Honorable Vice President, it's a privilege to have you, and many thanks for agreeing to open AIMA's 49th National Management Convention. You are an outstanding leader of the country, and you have an extraordinary career in politics before getting elected as Vice President of the country. You have served the country as a member of Parliament, as a minister in the Union government, and as a governor of West Bengal. It's great to honor to have you as the chief guest of the National Management Convention. We are also very privileged to welcome Dr. Dhankhar in our midst today. Thank you, ma'am. A very warm welcome to you, and it's a privilege to have you with us. Honorable Vice President, the National Management Convention is the biggest celebration of management in our country. We have thousands of members of AIMA, and it is more than 60 local affiliates joining in this festival of Indian management. While we have a large number of delegates and guests present here in this hall, we have a much bigger audience online, as this NMC is being broadcast live on AIMA's social media channels. Everybody is eager to listen to you and be inspired by you to contribute to the country's progress. Thank you for joining us, and a very warm welcome to you once again. I also welcome my AIMA colleagues, Mr. Harshpati Singhania, immediate past president, Mr. Nikhil Sawhney, vice president, and Ms. Rekha Sethi, Director General. It's our pleasure to have you, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Hearty welcome to all the past presidents of the AIMA and the members of AIMA Council, AIMA fellows and members, and the many distinguished well-wishers who have joined us this morning. A very special welcome to all our local management associations who are present today in great numbers from all over the country, and their presence on this occasion makes this event truly national. A very warm welcome to all of you. Many thanks to our friends from the media who have always been supportive to AIMA. I also welcome those who are watching it live on AIMA's various social media channels. Ladies and gentlemen, the 49th National Management Convention is taking place at a time of a great change and uncertainty in the world. The disruptive effects of the COVID pandemic are still around in the form of supply chain snags and shortages, and the after effects of the national anxieties, and are now visible in the escalating economic war. There is a threat of the post-COVID inflation becoming sticky because of disruption and distortion of global markets for energy, food, raw materials, and finance. Geopolitics is making things worse, as the battle of bands between the powerful adversaries is feeding fears of shortages and inflation expectations. However, India has many intrinsic advantages, and it can leverage those to overcome the challenges posed by great uncertainty and change in the world. India's strong domestic economy, its geographical size and location, the vast talent pool, and the dynamic leadership are among the many factors that give India an edge in this volatile situation. The key is to focus on sustainable advantages of India and not get carried away by the worries about the present instability in the world. Nevertheless, India's leaders have to be mindful of high unpredictability of geopolitical events and policy actions and capitalize on change by bringing India's advantages into play. That thought has guided AIMA's focus during this NMC, and the various sessions over the next 2 days will examine the different facets of this approach. The NMC aims to answer some of key questions that many of us have been asking. For example, what new economic and political openings in the global shakeup creating for India? How should India go about managing its relationship in an angry world and assure its influence in the post-conflict order? How could India gain the leverage to rebuild international institutions to reflect its status as the world's 5th largest economy? The NMC has an extensive agenda with focus on macro and micro areas, and we have an array of outstanding speakers in each session. I am confident that everybody will enjoy every discussion and make the best use of this access to the country's best minds. I thank you once again for joining us in the 49th National Management Convention. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Ranganathan. Ladies and gentlemen, AIMA would be bestowing its fellowship on some distinguished personalities on this special occasion. I am pleased to introduce Mr. Ranganathan to you. An accomplished Indian Revenue Service officer, he has been involved in some very critical and high-profile investigations resulting in the prevention and control of anti-national activities. A passionate public servant and bureaucrat, he is the Commissioner of Income Tax Exemptions and is responsible for the investigations and administration of trust cases in Delhi. As a member of the inter-ministerial group, he has made valuable contribution in unearthing important scams. A highly respected professional, he has also authored several reports and papers on financial investigation. He has been awarded on multiple occasions, including appreciation by India's Finance Minister. As a public management expert, he has also made contribution with far-reaching impact in the sphere of e-governance and tax policy. A life member of AIMA, he has made a significant contribution to the governance and growth of AIMA. All India Management Association is pleased to confer its fellowship on Ranganathan Garg, IRS, Commissioner of Income Tax Exemptions, Government of India. May I request Mr. Garg to kindly come on stage to receive his fellowship. Congratulations, Mr. Garg. The next AIMA Fellowship will be presented to Dr. Vijay Kelkar, and it is my privilege to introduce him. Dr. Kelkar is joining us virtually from Pune. Recipient of the second highest civilian award in India, Padma Vibhushan, he is one of the country's eminent economists, currently serving as the Vice President of the Pune International Center. An astute technocrat, he has been instrumental in implementing many key economic reforms and is widely regarded as the architect of GST. A former Finance Secretary, Chairman of the 13th Finance Commission, and advisor to the Ministry of Finance, he has held various senior-level positions in the Government of India. He has been nominated as Executive Director of India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka on the board of the International Monetary Fund. He has also served as the chairman of the Forum of Federations, Ottawa, Canada, an association of countries with the federal system. All India Management Association is pleased to confer its honorary fellowship on Dr. Vijay L. Kelkar, Vice President of the Pune International Center, for his outstanding contribution to India's growth story. Congratulations, Dr. Kelkar. Ladies and gentlemen, each year AIMA bestows the Honorary Life Fellowship on its immediate past president, and it is my pleasure to read out the citation for the immediate past president of AIMA, Mr. Harshpati Singhania. An eminent business leader, patron of arts, philanthropist, past president of FICCI, and currently a vice chair and member of Executive Board of International Chamber of Commerce, Paris, Mr. Singhania is the vice chairman and managing director of JK Paper Limited, a part of one of India's largest industrial conglomerates, JK Organization. As AIMA's president during 2020-21, he spearheaded the organization through uncertain times. During his tenure, AIMA continued its flagship programs and other events with a stellar lineup of speakers and exponential participation. Despite the lockdowns, AIMA continued to innovate and introduced new programs to foster an exchange of ideas and knowledge. Key initiatives launched under his leadership were the AIMA Business Unusual series and AIMA Management TV, created to bring the latest insights on changing management paradigms. All India Management Association is pleased to confer the Honorary Life Fellowship on Harshpati Singhania, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Paper Limited, and Director, JK Organization, for his outstanding contribution to the organization. Congratulations, Mr. Singhania. To mark the convention each year, AIMA takes out a special souvenir with interesting articles on management trends. May I now request the Honorable Vice President of India and the dignitaries on stage to release the convention souvenir. Thank you all for doing the honors. May I request our chief guest for the day, the Honorable Vice President of India, to deliver his inaugural address, please.
My greetings to everyone present here and those who are online. Very good morning. Shri C.K. Ranganathan ji, President AIMA, sir, congratulations for rendering a very thought-provoking address indicating various facets and lining up the road ahead. Shri Nikhil Sawhney, Vice President AIMA, I share with him a common factor, vice. He is Vice Chairman, I am Vice President. Srimati Rekha Sethi, Director General AIMA, and in all outfits, we have enormously talented people from this category. They are permanent, others come and go. Shri Harshpati Singhania ji, immediate past President, AIMA, and the citation that was read out, as a senior advocate one time I can say, is factually tenable. Unimpeachable credentials. Congratulations for getting it. Ramesh Garg, 1994 batch IRS, has eminently been awarded Fellowship of AIMA, a prestigious organization in its 49th year. Congratulations to him. Vijay Kelkarji has been honored very rightly with the Honorary Fellowship of AIMA, a man of enormous talent, rightly recognized by conferment of the second highest civilian award, and his contributions in the field of finance and otherwise will continue to motivate us and inspire us. Being Governor of West Bengal for 3 years. Sudhir Jalanji is here, Rajiv Kaul is here, they will bear me out. It will be high risk for me if I don't greet my own wife, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar. The power of this gender has been realized the world over. It has impacted me more than most of you. When the invite came to me, a number of them came at the same time. For constant of time, one was required to be little discreet, because science and technology is yet to devise a mechanism where the same person can be at two places physically at the same time. That's not with us at the moment. So I got a call from Shri Sushil Rungtaji, former chairman, Steel Authority of India Limited, and a man for whom I have had and still have very high regard as a professional. He said, this is one function where you will meet leaders of industry who are professional in every sense of the term. I am grateful to him because I see it before me. Some of you I know personally. There are some whose name I have been able to glance. I know of them. And those whom I do not know, I would come to know. That will be my endeavor. I am delighted to be here at this convention, and thank you for giving me this great opportunity. Congratulations for the 49th National Management Convention. One never leaves the track of the family to one which belongs. I am from legal fraternity. So Ranganathan ji and Nikhil Sawhney are having 49 along with Chief Justice of India. He is also 49th. We look forward to the 50th year of celebration by AIMA, and that will, I am sure, will be another milestone. Soothing to note, business leaders, administrators, academicians, experts, they are playing critical affirmative role in shaping India's incremental trajectory in all facets, in very challenging times. COVID scenario has made us aware of the spinal strength of which this country is possessed of. Before coming to the great efforts made by the government and the industry, I would reflect on our age-old hand-holding approach. It was reflected in every facet of life, in every township, and people came forward to alleviate the suffering of those who needed help. World's largest democracy, mother of democracy, 136 crore people, we successfully overcame this challenge, which was to the entire planet. Vaccinated all, in spite of great hurdles generated within and without, with no rationale, no premise, and those who did the challenge were unaware that they were distancing themselves from the genius of Indian mind and were not sharing India's growth story. As Governor West Bengal, I know, for about 2 years, 90 crore people were fed by this country. A fact little known. but those who come to know about it are absolutely amazed. And this happened in a very seamless manner. Credit goes to members of the industry. They engaged themselves in innovation. They did everything they could to make the life of their workmen easy. And during this difficult period, the productivity was by and large maintained. Congratulations. It is on account of efforts of the government and more on account of the efforts of the people who are in this hall and outside online that we have become the 5th largest economy in the world. The credit goes to the people here, and I know out of experience, because as Governor West of Bengal, I was heading a group of 10 governors to formulate a mechanism for ease of governance, ease of business. Niti Aayog was assisting me. The other 9 members of the group were far more talented than I am. They have greater experience, and all of them gave such suggestions. And all I can say, ease of governance will not only be rational, but will help all of you perform geometrically. If anything is running down Indian businessmen, it is sleepless night on account of there being not ease of governance. Over these few years, great efforts have been made very successfully on ease of governance. It is a matter of time when the optimization that is taking place will fructify in a more soothing ecosystem. The response is amazing. Series of systemic efforts have been made. Series of them. It is not easy to get 250 million people in banking inclusivity. No one knows better than myself. Becoming a lawyer, the need of a library was important for 2 reasons. One, I need it as a lawyer. Second, the litigant is impressed by it. So both the factors. 6,000 rupees were very critical to me, and the bank was good enough to give it to me. When I became a member of parliament and a minister, I searched the manager who gave me that loan. He changed my life. Look at the present mechanism. Youngsters have to have an idea. Money is no longer a constraint. We are seeing their footfalls, impactful footfalls in the growth of India's economy. We have really changed. As Member of Parliament 33 years ago, one thing which we all members of Parliament then at that point of time took pride, we could allocate 50 gas connections to anyone of our choice. That was a big power in our hand. Imagine more than 170 million people being given it free, and everyone has it. A big change. And this big change has taken place because people here are working. 170 million could not have been given if there was no productivity. All this because of the people here. You are a silent category of people who are catalyzing a big change for the largest democracy. And this now I can assure you is unstoppable. Democracy and economics and economy can thrive, blossom, yield results only in an ecosystem that is transparent and accountable. Discussion with anyone, howsoever subtle it may be, howsoever rational it may be, is confined to the domain of subjectivity. A system is now emerging. I can appreciate that many have some ideas. It will always happen. When we have a better road infrastructure, we will look for the next benchmark. That is but natural. But we will have to focus on a mechanism. Take pride in the rise of India, and the rise of India is not in one element. It is plateau. When I went to my village, I was amazed. 4G connectivity was as, if not more, than it is in metro towns. The entrepreneur in India, beyond doubt, is way ahead of entrepreneurs anywhere in the world. It is tribute to the management skills of Indian mind that they are helping world economic giants. I don't want to name them, you know them all. Our startup sector has converted the scene qualitatively. It has inspired and motivated many of the youngsters. But onus in such a fast changing world lies on the people before me. Skill upgradation is your forte because you need them. And once CSR will be rationally utilized, which it is being utilized, but for those areas that can impact the youth of the country, I am sure we will have great results. Nothing can be more fructifying for a nation than to help everyone to exploit his or her potential to the fullest advantage of his or her talent. And that system, I can see, is fast emerging. There are multi-pronged programs in this direction. They are permeating to the ground level, and I have no doubt skill upgradation, skill development will result in innovation that is in our DNA. The strength of innovation, creativity, thinking out of the box that Indians possess is not to be seen in that spirit or intensity in others. Indian industry has crucial responsibility. It is discharging its job well, but I am focusing on it in upliftment of the farm sector where I have my roots. If Indian farmer progresses, India progresses is something which has been said more often than by management leaders than by politicians. And why? Management leaders, industry leaders know it more, that economy is driven by the farm produce. So equitable justice to them, adding value to their product to their advantage, will serve the nation in a sublime manner. Technological adoption is a differentiator, but this can happen by and large with involvement of the leaders who are present and those who are online. Because technology adoption for an ordinary person is difficult by virtue of cost factor as well. This can be ably facilitated, and I can see it is already on way. India never received the attention globally as we do now. It's a matter of pride. The image Indian Prime Minister has, the image Indian Foreign Minister has, the image every Indian has abroad is now very different. We are a nation on the rise, and why not? Centuries ago, we were leaders in every sphere of human activity, and we need to take pride in this. The most recent impactful observation of the Indian Prime Minister made abroad has touched our hearts. We have really come to a great level. Every Indian is proud of it. India is due to take presidency of G20 group this year end, and this will give us a great opportunity to play our own role in global economic and political agenda. The two are intermixed. I am confident, and I have no doubt, Atmanirbhar Bharat is shaping, and its architecture is being crafted majorly by the people who are here and online. Please continue your effort. This is a great job you are doing. There is, I can assure you, great appreciation of this at the highest level. When Chambers of Commerce met me, I interacted with them, and I pleaded with them on one aspect. By virtue of the position I hold, both as Vice President and Chairman Rajya Sabha, I am your foot soldier. But chambers first have to be in synergical stance with each other. They must as a group evolve, concretize suggestions, come with final formulation, and your foot soldier will not fail you. I know the executive leadership of this country has attained on ground what we never imagined earlier. We can look at our cities, look at our infrastructure, look at the changes that have been effected. So it pains my heart sometimes when anywhere from the globe there will be a voice totally disconnect with the ground reality of this country, saying something adverse. And that is picked by the media in high decibel. That is an affront to the people before me. They are possessed of much more maturity, intellect than the gentleman is speaking from anywhere. That kind of politics has to be contained. and that containment can take place only in the peer group which is before me. I wouldn't reflect more on this. I am confident AIMA will continue to play its role wholesomely as it has done for so long, and compliments to the leadership for this excellent convention, which I have no doubt will make available all of you enough to take home, reflect, innovate, and then make it impactful for larger societal gain. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts with all of us here today. May I now request Mr. Nikhil Sawhney to deliver the concluding remarks, please.
Shri Jagdeep, Dhankhar, Vice President of India, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar, C.K. Ranganathan, President AIMA and Chairman Managing Director of CavinKare Private Limited, Harshpati Singhania, immediate past President AIMA and Vice Chairman and Managing Director of JK Paper Limited, Rekha Sethi, Director General of AIMA, ladies and gentlemen and friends. It's my privilege to conclude the opening session of the 49th National Management Convention of AIMA. Honorable Vice President of India, it is a tremendous privilege for AIMA to have you as our chief guest at this convention. Thank you for your uplifting address and your optimistic perspective on India's strengths and opportunities under the prevailing conditions. We agree with you that India has everything to become a world leader, and we assure you that India's business and management leaders will do their bit to turn India's potential into an actual advantage. Thank you also for presenting the AIMA fellowships for the year. My congratulations to Dr. Vijay Kelkar, Mr. Harshpati Singhania and Mr. Raman Garg on their induction as AIMA Fellows. We are also delighted and privileged to have Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar amongst us today. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Your presence this morning has made our event even more special. Ladies and gentlemen, this session has given us an excellent start to the National Management Convention, and the Honorable Vice President's optimistic address has set the tone for discussions that will follow. As he emphasized, we Indians need to focus more on capitalizing on our advantages rather than getting bogged down by doubts and fears. Change and uncertainty can be disruptive, but every disruption is also an opportunity for transformation. As pointed out by the distinguished speakers in their addresses, there are real challenges to the Indian economy and business, such as a global slowdown, inflation, and geopolitical uncertainty. But these challenges are manageable. With its large market and strategic strength, India is well positioned to make itself even more attractive to the world. The key to sustain a high rate of economic growth and maintain a prudent foreign policy. With these words, my grateful thanks once again to the Honorable Vice President of India. You've honored AIMA by joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating the 75th year of independence of India, and we have plenty of advantages to celebrate. India has become the world's fifth largest economy, as the Vice President of India had alluded to, in nominal terms. But it has already been the third largest economy based on the purchasing power parity basis. India is now the most populous country in the world, which means that it has the world's largest workforce and the largest potential of incremental people being added into the workforce. These are all opportunities that India must leverage. With the management capability and strength within this room, online, and the capacity that exists within industry across this country, we are sure that we would be able to make strides towards this endeavor. India is a pivotal country in the new balance of power in the world, and it is a centerpiece of the Quad Alliance to maintain law and order on trade routes in the Indo-Pacific. India has emerged as one of the saviors to the global supply chains after the world's bitter experience with lockdowns in China. In fact, India is on its way to becoming a critical resource to the world through its Atmanirbhar Bharat mission. While the world is undergoing a transformational pangs, India is sitting reasonably pretty with crucial advantages and will count the most in the new economic and geopolitical order. However, India has its challenges, and India's foreign policy is under strain from competing demands of its various friends and backers. It's not possible to be everyone's friends at all times, but India needs to protect its options. as the global alignments are prone to radical alterations without notice. India's value to the world emanates from its size and ambition, and India must continue to strengthen its hand by driving economic growth and building hard power. India also has a challenge of spreading the benefits of growth more evenly, and India needs to bring farmers into play in this economic growth to drive up incomes. The fact that nearly half of India is involved in agriculture and shares less than a fifth of its GDP is a big constraint on economic growth. India needs its farmers to become more productive by having access not just to irrigation and fertilizer, but also to mechanical and digital technologies to get more out of their lands. Indian farmers also need access to national and global markets to both get the best deals that they can get, but also to learn to manage and compete better. It is about time for India to revolve and resolve its conundrum of protecting its farmers while exposing them to market forces. The government's proposal to diversify the sugar industry into engine fuels can be a good way to increase farmers' income. Farming sophistication and income growth has been among the top priorities in India, and we wish to realize this by expanding the management capabilities into a sector which desperately needs this as well. May I now invite President AIMA to present a green memento to the Honorable Chief Guest, the Vice President of India, as well as to Dr. Dhankhar.